Hey there folks, let's talk bowling. It's a sport, a pastime, a way of life for some. But did you know it's older than dirt? Way older. We're talking ancient civilizations here. Fast forward to ancient Rome. They had a game called bocce. Sound familiar? It's like bowling's Italian cousin. You roll balls to get closest to a smaller target ball. Bocce was huge, played by emperors and everyday folks alike. Over in Polynesia, they were busy rolling stones too. This game, called Ula Mica, involved rolling stones down a long lane, aiming for targets. It took skill and precision just like modern bowling. These ancient games show us something important. Humans have always loved rolling things at other things. It's in our blood. Today, we have polished lanes, high-tech scoring systems, and custom-made balls. But the essence of the game remains the same. It's about skill, precision, and a bit of luck. Bowling has evolved over the centuries, adapting to the times and cultures. Yet it continues to bring people together, transcending generations and borders. Whether you're a casual player or a pro, the thrill of knocking down those pins is universal. It's a game that can be enjoyed by all ages, making it a perfect family activity. From friendly matches to competitive leagues, bowling offers something for everyone. And with bowling alleys found in almost every corner of the globe, it's a truly international sport. It's not just about the game. It's about the camaraderie, the fun, and the memories made. So next time you pick up a bowling ball, remember, you're part of a tradition that spans millennia. Happy rolling. Let's jump ahead a few centuries. Bowling popped up in Europe during the Middle Ages, becoming a popular pastime. Germans were big fans. They played a game called Kegels, which involved knocking down 9 pins arranged in a diamond shape. Sound familiar? It should. This is where things get interesting. Bowling wasn't always just a fun pastime back then. It got mixed up with religion, and even gambling, adding layers of complexity. Some folks thought bowling could determine your spiritual worthiness. Others used it to settle bets, sometimes with serious stakes involved. But despite the controversies, bowling's popularity grew steadily. Kings and commoners alike enjoyed a good game. It was a social activity, a chance to unwind and have some laughs. Plus, who doesn't love the satisfying sound of pins crashing down? Now, let's hop across the pond to America, where the story of bowling takes an interesting turn. The early settlers brought their love of bowling with them, carrying not just their belongings, but also their cherished traditions. The first bowling green in America popped up in New York City way back in the 1600s, marking the beginning of a new chapter for the sport. Early Americans bowled on lawns, which is how the term bowling green came about. These greens were social hubs where communities gathered to enjoy the game. But bowling wasn't all sunshine and roses. The sport faced its share of challenges and controversies. It had a bit of a rough reputation in the 1800s, often associated with rowdy crowds and unruly behavior. Some shady establishments used bowling alleys to attract gamblers and other unsavory characters, tarnishing the sport's image. This gave bowling a bit of a black eye, leading to public outcry and calls for reform. Thankfully, things started looking up in the late 1800s. Efforts were made to clean up the sport and restore its reputation. Indoor bowling alleys started popping up, offering a more respectable place to play. These new venues provided a controlled environment, free from the negative influences that had plagued the sport. Bowling was becoming a favorite pastime for people from all walks of life. It evolved into a sport that brought together diverse groups, fostering a sense of community and camaraderie. Today, bowling continues to be a beloved activity, enjoyed by millions across the country. Its rich history in America is a testament to its enduring appeal and the way it has adapted over the centuries. Up until the late 1800s, bowling was a bit like the Wild West. There were no universal rules, and each region had its own way of playing the game. Different regions had different rules, different equipment, even a different number of pins. It was confusing. Some places used 9 pins, others used 10, and the materials for the pins and balls varied widely. Thankfully, some forward-thinking folks decided it was time for a change. They realized that for bowling to grow and be taken seriously, it needed a standardized set of rules. In 1895, a group of bowlers got together and formed the American Bowling Congress, ABC. This was a monumental step in the history of bowling. They set standardized rules for the game, including the 10-pin format we know and love today. This meant that no matter where you played, the game would be the same. The ABC also introduced lane dimensions, pin specifications, and scoring systems. This was a game changer. For the first time, bowlers could compete on equal footing, knowing that the rules were the same everywhere. With standardized rules, bowling could finally flourish as a true sport. Bowling alleys became more popular, and people started to take the game more seriously. Competitions became fair and consistent, and bowlers could compare their skills on a level playing field. This led to the rise of local and national tournaments, where the best bowlers could showcase their talents. This paved the way for the rise of professional bowling, which we'll talk about later. The standardization of the game was the foundation upon which professional bowling was built, allowing it to become the popular sport it is today.